Hi, everybody. Very good Sunday morning. Weather Extra. I haven't done that in a while. But thank you for coming on, and thank you for your time here on this Sunday morning. I know a lot of people want to get outside and do summer-type things, and we just appreciate you spending a little time on Weather Extra. Even if you don't watch this live, it just simmers on our Facebook page all day, so you can always go back. If there's something about the forecast that you want to hear, you can always watch it through. I keep it very casual, obviously, but I usually have the 10-day up at the end for quite a long period of time, so people tend to like that part. I turned the camera to East Limestone, and everyone's like, well, why do you got that up there? It just shows blue sky. It's kind of boring. Because the moon was there up until about 10 minutes ago, I could see it, and the moon now has gone down. So at one point today, we had the sun and moon in the sky. We had it happen yesterday. It's pretty cool. I saw a post the other day. It was really funny. It was somebody from Boston, and it was like, I don't know, it was like a week ago, or maybe it might have been like 2 weeks ago. I don't know. There was a time when the sun and the moon were up at the same, and somebody's like, this is so crazy. Climate, it's like the weather thing is so weird. Like now we have the moon and the sun in the sky at the same time. Like that's been happening for decades. I hate to break it to you, but yeah. But it can happen. The moon sets at a certain time. The sun rises at a certain time. And sometimes they cross paths. Parkway in Huntsville, sunny. Get ready for more heat. Temperatures are taking off. We're already near 80 degrees for many locations. In fact, Scottsboro is showing 81. And didn't have any fog to burn off this morning. The fog, I thought we'd have more fog this morning. I was actually surprised. No fog. We had some yesterday. You burn that off, and then you pop the sunshine, and you really heat things up. But we don't have that hour or two of fog this morning, so I anticipate 90 by noon for many locations. And if you're not at 90 at noon, you will be soon. And you certainly will feel like 90 plus because the humidity is off the charts, 70 to 75. Not the really, really gross stuff, but it's still enough to feel like temperatures into the 100 to 105 range like we had yesterday. You pop a storm in the afternoon, that's one way to get some relief. And you see a few little storms popping up there. Not much, but much like yesterday, the activity was way down. We talked about that yesterday right on Weather Extra, that there wouldn't be much storm activity. There was a few that popped in Franklin County. They had some gusty winds with them. They were like, I think they put a special weather statement on them for like a hot second, and then they were just fizzling out as they moved east. I did have a cell develop right near my house, just south of me, and I could feel the winds picking up a little bit. It was like a hot wind. And then that storm fizzled out too. So that's pretty much the same forecast today. I don't see huge coverage of storms through 7 p.m., but maybe it overplays out. We get a little bit more rain than I'm thinking. But again, if you have a storm, it's heavy rain, gusty winds, some lightning, but the overall coverage doesn't really jump out as like a lot of rain, okay? Temperatures today, low to mid 90s, and feels like temperatures close to 105. Tonight, any storm that does survive the evening will back off quick. If you have some rain today, you'll be more likely to have some patchy fog. Even if you don't have rain, you'll probably have some fog too. Low 70s, and that's how you start your Monday. One thing I want to talk about really quick, and I think it's the next graphic, is the Tropics. Many of you asking me, hey, I heard a rumor that there's a chance we could have another named system, and it's right in the Gulf. And why is that important for many people? Because so many people have taken this week off to go to the beaches in Alabama and Florida. And what I can say is this: don't get so distracted on the 20% name system thing, okay? If it becomes named, it will be Dexter. It will be the fourth name system in the Atlantic. But it doesn't matter if it gets named. There's going to be a tremendous amount of showers and thunderstorms that will plague the Alabama and Florida beaches all week long. Much like our forecast, which is showers and storms almost each and every day, a much higher chance of showers and storms for the beaches for the week ahead. Therefore, whether it gets named or not, it's going to bring some rain that will probably dampen some of those vacation plans for this week ahead. And if you're going to be going to any of the beaches in Alabama or in Florida, pretty much expect heavy rain throughout much of the afternoons each and every day. And well, again, whether or not the system becomes named, obviously if it becomes Dexter, it will get all the national publicity. But there's still going to be showers and storms regardless. And somebody asked me, they saw the graphic and they sent me a message and they said, is this overhyped? And I'm like, no, tracking the tropics or tracking the Gulf of Mexico for tropical development, we do that pretty much every year. Hurricane season runs until the end of November. And we always are keeping an eye on things, right? So that would be the chance to have some kind of development for now. We had Andrea, which was a fish storm, lasted for like 1 day. And then we had Barry, and Barry was really under the radar. It was a tropical storm in Mexico. Didn't get a lot of talk about it. And then the remnants of it is what triggered some of the flash flooding in Texas. It added to it the moisture, and it wasn't a tropical storm anymore. It was just a remnant low pressure, and it was part of what brought the rainfall to Texas and the terrible flooding that we've seen there. And then Chantal brought some flash flooding to North Carolina and brought some heavy rainfall. And 2 out of 3 storms named in the Atlantic have had an impact on parts of the lower 48 so far this year. And Dexter, if it were to be named, again, it brings us some rain, and it doesn't look like it forms to be this like monster hurricane, but it will certainly have a lot of rainfall associated with it, whether it's named or not. Speaking of rainfall, daily rain chances on that in there. Boom, boom, boom. There they are. There's your 10-day, everybody. Hi, Vacation Valerie. It's good to see you. Dave Luddy is on this morning. I hope you have a good day, my friend Dave and Vacation Valerie. Brenda Poore, P-O-R-E. I don't have my glasses on. Poor says good morning and God bless you. God bless you too. Have a good day, Brenda. Appreciate that. Dave says we got 0 rain in the last 2 days. I love it. I did not get 0 rain. I had a soaker on Friday, good old-fashioned gully washer. But I did not have rain yesterday. I had a storm nearby. But yeah, and Dave, that sums up how summer storms are, you know. This month of July, Northwest Alabama Regional Airport has had 6 inches of rain. I'm not kidding you, 6 inches of rain. And the Huntsville International Airport has had 0.3. 0.3. Doesn't seem fair, right? I've had almost 2 inches of rain at my house, and I live in Huntsville. And the airport technically is in Huntsville, but Huntsville's big, right? And that's what happens with these storms. And I don't think the coverage today, and I talked about that yesterday, I said I really thought the coverage for storms on Saturday would be very isolated, and I feel that way about the storms today. In fact, I can prove that because there's a good buddy of mine named Adam, and he has a son who had a plan to have like a water slide park yesterday. Like, I don't know, it was like some kind of water plans, and it was his birthday and everything. And he raised me on Thursday. He says, can we still go ahead with this on Saturday? What do you think? And I text him, I said, you good to go, bro. Have fun with your family and sweat a lot. And I think it worked out pretty well for him. So I haven't heard back from him yet, though. But we'll see. I think it was a good birthday party. But there wasn't much in the way of activity yesterday at all. Hi, Amy Seaton. Good to see you. Good morning to you. And good morning, Bill Beck. Always a pleasure to see you on. I hope all is well. Speaking of some heavy rainfall, now I don't know exactly where you're at. I know where you are, but Florence got some pretty heavy rainfall. At one point, it was really weird this week. So the airport, Northwestern Alabama Regional Airport, I talked about this, had over 6 inches of rain so far this month in July. Other areas have had less than half an inch. But at one point, if I remember correctly, the airport had over 4 inches, and then I had viewers talking to me from Florence, which is that far away, had I haven't had a raindrop yet. That changed since then. But yeah, I mean, that's the kind of rainfall we can have. One town gets it, one town misses out, and bada bing, bada boom. Lori Ann, okay, Jeff, we need more rain on Egypt Road. You came through last time. Lori Ann, I don't know if I have that kind of power, but I don't think it happens much today. And I don't even think tomorrow is really that rainy either, or Tuesday. I know the percents are different in our 10-day forecast. I don't touch them. But it looks like Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, especially by Friday, the chances of rain will escalate. But the overall coverage of storms for today, tomorrow, and Tuesday doesn't look like much. There was some decent rainfall Thursday and Friday across the area. I got soaked at my house. My poor dog. And my poor garden. My garden's like, stop, I don't need any more rain. So I haven't had to water the garden once this year. That's unheard of in the Tennessee Valley. And everything in my yard is green. It's not crunchy yet. What is happening? Now other people are not feeling that way. Some people feel like it's a little crunchy. So. Vacation Valerie saying hi to everybody because she's the hostess with the mostest. Hey, D, what's up? Good morning, Jeff. Happy Sunday fun day from Florida. D, I'm going to put a big like to that, my friend. You have yourself a fantastic time on your vacation. I hope all is going well for you. I thought of you today because I know you're a big disc golfer guy, right? And we did a story, and I can't remember the name of it. It was called like Shweeby. It's this new like Frisbee game where you hit these poles and the red cup pops off. It's like pong ball. I don't know. But like you have to catch the cup or you have to get the Frisbee between the two posts. They explained how the point values were given, and it was so confusing. But this guy made this game with a Frisbee and a red cup and a solo cup and then these poles that pop. And I thought of you, my friend. I thought of you right away because I know that we still have to go play some disc golf soon. My back doesn't hurt anymore. I'm playing pickleball. I'm active again. I can go out and play. When you come back, we got to put a day aside to play some disc golf. I promise, okay? I know. I kind of got a busy life going on, but we'll talk about it and we'll hang out because I want to play disc golf. I've always wanted to play disc golf. And there's this course, and I don't know which one it is. I think it's the Indian Creek course. I don't know what the name of it is. But it has you have to actually throw the Frisbee disc over a river, like a little stream, and it's like a par 3 or something, I think. And then you got to get over the river, and then you got to get it in the chains, right? And I see so many people wading in there with their feet in that water. I ain't going in there. It could be a snake or something. I'll just let that Frisbee go. I don't care. But anyway, they're in there, and they got to shoot from like the water, and then they got to go again. Like it's crazy. I don't know. I'm excited. It perks my curiosity of how the game's played because I don't think I can throw a Frisbee. I see some of the way these people, they throw a Frisbee and it goes forever and ever and ever. Mine goes like 3 feet. I don't know how they get the height to it. It's great. And then imagine playing with some wind. That'd be so hard. Pickleball is hard enough in the wind outside. I can imagine what throwing a Frisbee or disc golf would be like. It's crazy. Bill Beck says, good morning to Vacation Valerie. And Rando says, storm chasing the golf. Yeah. I mean, that's the place to be this week if you want a storm chase. I mean, there could be some stronger storms along the Gulf. The beaches are going to get, I think, a lot of rain this week. I think I saw one forecast model run that spits out almost 6 inches of rain along the coast for Monday through Friday. So, yeah. Amy says, are the storms isolated this week, mainly in the afternoons? It's almost going to always be afternoon activity, Amy. I think it's real isolated at least through Tuesday, but by Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we'll ramp it up, and I think it becomes more numerous storms for the end of the week, especially Friday. Friday looks really wet, actually. It's bad luck because it's Trash Pandas come back for a homestand. They've been away for a long time, and it's Trash Panda. It's Tennessee Titans night, which I already have tickets for right field, and I'm going to be in the first row, and I can't wait to see the game, and I hope it plays out. But a lot of the activity is almost always afternoons this time of year. Daytime heating, spark storms, or unless there's some kind of weak frontal boundary during the overnight or some kind of boundary that can spark a few storms. But a lot of it's afternoon, Amy, and the higher chances I think will be Wednesday through Friday, or at least better or higher coverage. Now, you could be one of those areas, one of those locations. I don't know, I live in Athens, or I live in Northwest Huntsville, or I live in Decatur, and you happen to get one of those isolated storms every day this week, you're going to be at the end of the week going, oh my gosh, should have been a 100% chance of rain every day. But it's just that you had the rain every day. That's all. Hi, Glenn, Keith. Good morning to you. Hope all is well. Happy Sunday. Thank you for coming in. Hi, Beverly. Watching? Good. We appreciate that. Thank you for coming on for weather extra. Appreciate that. Stan, my good friend, I was talking about you yesterday. I was talking about your ears must have been ringing. I was talking about how good you are about updating me with the rainfall totals. You're awesome about that. Stan says, good morning, Jeff Desnoyers. I was able to order a tire for my John Deere. Good. And class reunion at Branding Iron Steakhouse in West Point. Had a great turnout. Class reunions are the best, my friend. Love them. Class reunions. The last one I went to was 5 years ago. I can't go to too many now, though, because they're in Connecticut. But anyway, I'm glad you had a good time. Have a good morning, my friend. Beverly, happy Sunday to you, too. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate you being on. That's good. Always good to see everybody down. Bill says, we are in downtown Muscle Shoals. It rains every day here. It got bad Wednesday afternoon. Bill Beck, you are exactly right. And downtown Shoals. Why did I think you were in Florence? I don't know why I thought that. I'm a big jerk. But yeah, so you know the realism of how serious the rain has been in July for the Shoals. I mean, a lot of people I can't believe how many people I write me and be like, they're trying to tell me they haven't had any rain in May, June, and July, and I'm like, I don't know about that because in May and June, most of the area had over a foot to a foot and a half of rain, but it carried on into July for the shoals where the rainfall just seems to be persistent every single day. Now, other areas have had rainfall in July, but it really sticks out like a sore thumb of how much more rain has fallen in northwest Alabama, especially in western Lauderdale County into the shoals, northern portions of Colbert County, where some areas have had a half a foot of rain so far already. Just passing the torch from month to month to month because May and June were very wet for all locations. I know I have a couple of people like, I think I have a dome over my town. No, you don't have a dome. You just don't want to see the rainfall. I don't know what it is. It's kind of weird. Hi, Jeffrey Resendez. Good morning to you. Jeffrey Resendez representing Rhode Island in the house. Good to see you all, my friend. Hope all is well. Hi, Quint. Good to see you. Good morning. Happy Sunday. Have a good day. Put a like to that. Vacation Valerie, before I go any farther. I never know what the one to say. Farther, if something's farther away. Yeah. If I don't want to go any further.
Yes.
Okay. I have trouble with the English language. That's why Tatiana's here to help me. So anyway, just want to give a thanks out to Vacation Valerie because she absolutely rocks. She came by yesterday. She'd gone to her trip because she's Vacation Valerie to Hawaii. Came back with some macadamia nuts, brought by some peaches, and brought some coffee. And I got to grind some of it up, and it's going to be awesome, and I can't wait. And it's going to be so good. And it's very thoughtful, big heart, and I really appreciate it. It's very kind of you, Vacation Valerie, to do stuff like that. It's very kind of you that when you're in Hawaii, you thought, hey, let's get Jeff some coffee and some macadamia nuts. The peaches came from here, though. They didn't come from Hawaii. But it was very thoughtful, and I appreciate it. I just want you to know that. Amy says, I'm glad I wasn't the only one confused by the Schweeby rules. That's what it is, Schweeby. Thank you, Amy. I appreciate that. I was so confused too. So Matthew and I are watching this story about it, and we're like, how do you play the game? Like, we didn't even know. It was so confusing. Oh my gosh. And the guy was so excited about it. And I wanted to share his excitement too about Schweeby. And I couldn't. So I just diverted it to more about pickleball and tennis and stuff like that. But I guess it could be really fun if I understood the rules. I guess it just takes a matter of just getting out there to play it. And are they making Schweeby poles? Because you need the poles to hit with the Frisbee, right? Or disc. I don't call it the right thing. But I don't know if you can purchase that stuff or if he just makes them homemade. Like, there was so many elements of that story that I needed more. I needed more. If I'm ever going to play Schweeby, I needed more information. Hi, Tamara. Speaking of always being so pleasant and thinking about us at the station, Tamara made homemade hot cocoa recently and brought it to the station. And I took one home and I put two in the break room, and the second one's just about gone. And if you want your Tupperware back, you just let me know, Tamara, and I'll make sure nobody takes away from it and puts it in the garbage or anything like that. So remind me if you want the Tupperware, I'll give it back to you. But good to see you on. I don't make this stuff up. I mean, it's really, if you go in there, you'll see the hot cocoa. It's actually really good. It's homemade. It's really good. Vacation Valerie says, I didn't understand the rules, but Schweeby looked like fun. It did look like fun. I don't know. I thought it was pretty cool. Hey, Mike Gentle, how you doing? Did you have pool day, my friend, yesterday? It was hot. It was humid. I was in Athens. I went to my little catfish place. Can't say the name completely of it. But went in there, and I was like, AC. Then I walked outside, and I was like, I'm melting. It was really hot in Athens. It was like, I don't know. Okay, I was gonna just take a drive down 65 and come hang out, Mike. But yeah, it was good stuff. You have a good morning, my friend. Mugs up. I don't have my coffee mug with me, so mugs up. I'm gonna pop the 10-day up so y'all don't have to see me. There it is, in all its glory. If you have any questions, just ask. Good morning. A lot of good mornings back and forth, which is fantastic. That's awesome, Tamara. I appreciate it. And just remind me, I will make sure I try to keep the Tupperware so we don't lose it, okay? Sometimes things in that break room tend to disappear, so we'll see what happens in a good way. Got to the end of the comments, which is fantastic. And it's 8:52. I'm going to go. Mowed the front yard yesterday. Going to try to mow the backyard yesterday. Or today. Can't do it yesterday. I already did the front yard. So mowing, challenging, because not only has it been rainy most of the days for some locations, but I went to mow yesterday morning and it was like dewy and foggy, so all the grass was wet and it was like, rrr, rrr. And finally I did the front yard and I'm like, forget about it. I'll do the backyard tomorrow. Hopefully no storms come and I'll make sure I get it done. Grass growing real fast if you get some rainfall, and I can actually hear it growing right now, and I'm not even at home. But yeah, hopefully whatever your plans are today, if they're outdoors, awesome. Just stay hydrated, common sense stuff. If they're going to be near water, make sure you keep an eye on the radar for the storms in the afternoon because they'll have some lightning. Again, I don't think it's widespread rainfall, but it's one of those things where one storm nearby you, if you're outdoors, especially doing some fishing or in a pool, we want you to be safe, of course. Other than that, pretty straightforward forecast. Chief Meteorologist Brad Travis is in tonight. Eric Burke is back bright-eyed and bushy-tailed tomorrow at 4:30 in the morning. I am beep traffic on Monday and Tuesday, and we got you covered on all the stuff that you need to know about your forecast for the week ahead. For now, have an awesome Sunday. And if you want to be outside, enjoy. If you want to be inside and do the AC thing, you do you. Have a good day.